Hi everybody, it's me again, and in this lesson you will learn how to introduce yourself in Hungarian and also some very useful everyday expressions. Are you ready? Let's dive in! Okay, here's the first example, the most common way to say hi in Hungarian. Szia! Bori vagyok. Örülök, hogy találkoztunk. As you can see, first you say the word szia, which means hi, then you say your name, then the verb to be, which is vagyok. Örülök, hogy találkoztunk. This literally means that I'm happy to meet you, and it is usually the thing you say when you meet someone for the first time. Please note that we say szia only when we address a single person. If there are many others, you have to say the plural form, which is sziasztok. At this point, I have to mention that Hungarian language has formal and informal ways of addressing people. Szia and sziasztok are informal expressions, so when you use them, make sure you're saying these to someone who's the same age as you or younger than you. Otherwise, it is very rude to say szia to someone who is older than you. According to Hungarian manners, a man, when he introduces himself to a woman for the first time, should never use this informal szia. If after he introduces himself, the woman tells him, now you can say szia to me, then it is okay, and from now on they can use the informal language. This might seem to be difficult for non-Hungarian speakers because in English there is no such a thing. Still, I can compare this to the English manner of calling each other by family names like, how are you, Mr. Brown? Good morning, Mrs. Brown. And then you get the permission to use a more informal language like, oh, please call me John, please call me Sarah. The term for this specific Hungarian language situation is tegeződés, which in English means to be on first name terms. Also, be very careful about this use of the informal language when you introduce yourself to someone in a higher position at a workplace. So, in these situations, you can only use szia if the other person specifically gives his or her permission to you to do so. Sometimes they will not give you their permission because this is still a way of maintaining authority, of keeping distance between one another, so do not be offended if someone refuses to accept your szia in formal or official situations. Okay, let's see the other greetings. Jó reggelt, jó napot, jó estét, jó éjszakát. Now, if you want to be even more polite, you can add an extra word at the end of each expression and you say jó napot kívánok. Kívánok means I wish, so literally it means I wish you a good day or I wish you a good afternoon. And when you are leaving, you say viszontlátásra, which is a formal way of saying goodbye. Viszontlátásra literally means we will see each other again. Látás, látni means to see. Viszlát, viszlát. This is the shorter form, the informal way of saying bye. Később találkozunk, which means see you later. In informal situations, we can also use szia, sziasztok as a form of saying goodbye. Okay, some basic expressions. Hogy vagy? This is the informal way, and the formal one is hogy van? And the answer is köszönöm, jól. És te? There is a more informal way of asking this. Hogy smint? Hogy smint? I give you another one. Mi újság? Mi újság? Újság literally means news, newspaper, and the answer could be semmi különös, jól vagyok. Mi a neved? Informal way. Mi a neve? Formal way. And the answer goes like this. Én Bori vagyok. Kérem. Köszönöm. A more informal way of saying thank you would be köszi, which means thanks. Köszi, it's a short form. With kérem and köszönöm, you can be even more polite if you just add an extra word, nagyon köszönöm, or köszönöm szépen. Here, szépen literally means you really and truly thank for something. The answer to köszönöm is usually szívesen. Szívesen. And here are some cultural tips. Do you remember our first greeting, szia? Have you ever wondered where it comes from? Here's a little background information. Szia is in fact an abbreviation of servus, a word still in use among Hungarians and also among Romanians, Serbians, Polish people, and many of our neighbors. Well, roughly speaking, you can encounter it around the former borders of the Habsburg Empire. The term comes from ancient Rome, from the Latin servus, and it means servant, slave. Basically, the meaning was, I am at your service. I am your humble servant. Also, the custom of taking off your hat while greeting someone comes from this ancient Roman custom. Slaves had to go about bareheaded and barefooted, reflecting their status in society. When a master would decide to free a slave, he would symbolically place a cap on his head and restore his freedom. Wearing a cap, therefore, is not only a sign of respectability, but also showing respect to one another. The Western custom of doffing your hat is a symbol of humility, as if to express, I am at your service, I am your slave. Okay, let's see another Hungarian cultural phenomenon. Do you remember the differences between formal and informal Hungarian? Here is another interesting expression. Csókolom. Csókolom. This is an expression that young Hungarians, children, use to greet the old people. It is the short version of kezét csókolom, which means I'm kissing your hand, or kezeit csókolom, I'm kissing your hands. This was originally used by men when greeting women, together with an actual kiss on the hand. It is a custom which is still practiced by some of the Hungarian gentlemen. The short version of this hand kissing became the way children greet women or men as old as their parents or even older. Even though we grow up, we still tend to use it to greet the old people we have known since childhood. So don't be surprised when a 20 or 30 something Hungarian greets 60, 70 years old person with the phrase csókolom. It is just a nice and respectful way of greeting old people. Even I use it every day when I meet my older neighbors. Even my mother uses it when she meets her 90 years old auntie. And these forms of greetings like sziasztok, viszlát, csókolom usually go together with some common gestures such as handshakes, kisses, and hugs. Here is the typical Hungarian cultural behavior. A handshake is usually short and you have to have a direct eye contact. Be careful not to perform the dead fish handshake. And the great question appears here, who extends the hand first? Well, the rule is that it is always the woman who extends her hand first, or it is always the other person who extends his or her hand first, or the higher ranking person, or it is always the person who is inside the home, the office, the building, whatever, and greets the newcomer. So it is always the one inside who greets the newcomer by extending the hand first. And there is another custom Among good friends and family, Hungarians like to give each other hugs and kisses, not only the women but also the men. The kisses are more of an air kiss, with the cheeks briefly touching. This may seem weird for other cultures, but you know, we are passionate people. We like to kiss and hug each other, so in this sense we are a little bit similar to Italians, maybe Spanish people. Ciao, hola my friends. Okay, this is all for today. I hope this was a useful lesson. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get more lessons, and in the comment section below let me know which Hungarian greeting you like the best. Viszlát!